Enjoying the crisp air. Tell you, can't beat it. Look, I want to make this a quick video. I was trying to put up the right thumbnail, but I guess I'll get it later. Man, I got to get some more storage on my cell phone, on my iPhone. But I'll just let y'all look at my mug on the thumbnail for now. So look, y'all, if you haven't been living under a rock, you'll know that R&B princess, the Bible, we call it the vocal Bible, uh, Brandy has released her memoirs. I don't have very much to say about that. Hold on a second. Excuse me. Had to let that airplane go by. But it's just a quick thing I want to talk about as it relates to behavior and appropriateness. Before her book came out, and probably before she even thought about writing it, but she was probably writing it all the time, a couple of things disturbed me, and one particular thing disturbed me. Now, I'm going to say this about the book. If y'all read it, would y'all let me know if she talked about the note that Whitney Houston gave her the day before she was found unalived in her hotel room at the Beverly Hilton? Remember the video when she interrupted the interview with her and Monica and Clive Davis, and she had Barbara Christina with her and said, "That's your godfather," and handed Brandy a note, and Brandy kind of looked at it like, "What is this?" And then handed it over to a stage left. Yeah, we all want to know what was in that note, but I know she's not going to tell it. If it's in the book, y'all let us know. However, that's the only thing I'd be interested in knowing about if I were to ever get my hand on her memoir. I usually thought memoirs were like written when you get to be like 75 or 80 years old, and all the secrets that you tell about all your romances or stuff you've done. Well, you're too old for people to even care about. But she's still a good. What's she like? 45, 46, young and still very tasty looking and cute as all get out. She's beautiful. Brandy's gorgeous. I've always thought she's pretty. And legs that will not stop. So, needless to say, I am uh, into it. I'm a Brandy in that regard. And and I love her music too. I can listen to all. I can put her CDs on playing just let all of them play. I just like her. Now, of course, there's a lot of controversial things that's going on that been said in the media about it and all that. And I'm with it. I'm cool. So this is the problem I have with this. It's not necessarily about her book or anything because I haven't read it. And it's not a secret. It's never been that I have the hots for Brandy. Because she is an attractive woman. Always been. Just cute. Ugh. Now, 45 can look like that all the time. Fellas, we're in business. So, or 46, whatever it is. She looks great. What's that? Dieselites? I don't know who y'all. Gracious Hernandez, what's up? But anyway, I want to say this really quickly. Before her book was even announced or it was coming out, they were doing interviews. There were particular men that come out and said, where they dated her back in the day. We all know we were young, we dated, and we did all kinds of things. So when I first started off this video, I said, I want to talk about what is appropriate and what's considered appropriate. And then I need to throw in the word couth. I know it's all over the place, it's being replayed. Where Wanye avoids the men. Instead of just keeping his mouth closed and just looking back on, hey, those were the times in the 90s that we had, all of us. And he asked him about dating Brandy. It's all come out, yeah, we know you dated Brandy, bro. And yeah, we know she was 16, he was 22. But the thing is, instead of just hush, just moving on, man, you had to talk about it like it was something cool. Again, people have done stuff, all kinds of stuff. And certainly, one just R. Kelly acting a fool in the 90s. There were a lot of folks doing some wild stuff. But my issue is with Wanye. Wanye, you could have had a little more class about it, bro. Now that she's put the memoir out and she's got statements in there with Brandy, that is. saying that you took advantage of her. She was young and you took advantage of her, even though you say opposite. But still, the fact is, she was 16 and you were 22. And then you would take your little silly, big bobber, wobbin head ass all on Breakfast Club and other interviews on podcasts. You're like, well, they said, how old was she? And then you would say, with this arrogance and stupidity, it depends on what state we was in. See, stupid. Then you said out loud, but yeah, she was young, but she can get it. So ignorant. Oh, God. So what you did, you just handed her a victim card when you said that. Yeah, man, that was stupid. Why'd you do that? And then, no, you're not the only dumbass that was running his mouth. Grown ass 50-something-year-old men talking like 15-year-olds. That's the part that threw me off. And it's not just because it's Brandy, she's a celebrity. It's just in general. We all big ages of 50s and 60s now. And we did a lot of things when we was in our 18s and 20s and the 90s. And some of those women now are like city councilmen. There's somebody's wives, there's somebody's mama and all this. Yeah, they did stuff when they was young. But you don't get to be 50-something years old. Yeah, man, I had yeah, man. That's ignorant. It shows low moral character and it shows no class. And then, it's not just you. I heard others shine and whoever else she's allegedly dated or kicked it with, All right, okay, goddamn. Y'all dudes 50-something years old. Y'all talk like that? And but for me, this top runner-up for the worst offender was that ignorant, low-class, bum-ass, retarded, little boy-ass Freedro Star. Hold on a minute, I'm gonna let the airplane go by. Well, I'm gonna let the airplane, because I don't want y'all to miss nothing I'm saying. Because I'm 57. And I know these dudes are like, they're probably not as old as I am. They might be 54, 53, stuff like that. But it's still 50-some-year-old dudes. Freedro Star, I don't know what's up with them cats on the East Coast, but it's like they're forever teenage boys in their minds. Because you can be 50-some years old and you still talk like you some kind of B-boy. Probably have grandchildren. Yo, you know what I mean, son? Word up, word is born, son. At 50-something, you never went to school. All that traveling you did in your career all over the world, you never picked up anything. You still sound like that. So, and your mindset is still like that of a god doggone 15-year-old in junior high school or high school talking about girls. You know what this dumbass said? Y'all can find it on the internet. I don't know if it was TMZ or somebody on the podcast was asking Freedro Star. Said, yeah, man, I heard you dated Brandy during Moesha. He was like, yeah. He said, but no, we never had sex or nothing. He said, we never had sex, but the head was good. Look it up. When I saw that, my mouth and everything, my whole body hit the floor. I couldn't believe that this 50-something-year-old jackass said that. Even if that's true, Freedro Star, Fredro, why the fuck would you say that? It's ignorant. And it's something about rap music that keep these black men in perpetual boyhood. Do you ever get some goddamn sense? Do you ever get class? Do you ever get common sense? Do you ever get couth? Do you motherfuckers ever grow up? It's stupid. When he said that, man, come on, bro. That's the best you can do? Oh, no, I ain't ever, but I ain't do that, but she has some good head. Why? Why would you do that, bro? Even if it is true, why? What part of you didn't develop to that of a 50-year-old man to say, you know what, I had some good times when I was coming up in the music game, and I had the pleasure of entertaining a company of a lot of R&B starlets, hell, some movie stars. No, you had to be tacky. You had to be a street dude about it, and that's the part that's so disappointing. And then you got one big bobblehead there, talking stupid. Yeah, she can get it. It depends on what state it was in. They're gonna get on your ass. And it just so happened the New Edition tour is over right now. I don't think it's now. Look, I'll be surprised they bring you back for part 2 if the people don't get on your ass. That was stupid. You didn't have to say that. And then the other members of the group just cackling and laughing when you said that. And that dumbass Charlemagne, the maggot, the goddess, he thought everybody thought it was funny then. Now y'all have handed her a victim card, and it's gonna it's gonna go through. It's gonna go through approval or acceptance. So you're gonna have to explain yourself. Or why don't all of y'all just be mature and apologize for being teenagers at 50-some years old? Have some couth. Yeah, we've all of us as men have done the deed when we were all 18 and 22 and 25 and shit. We've done some dirty and some nasty things, but it's inappropriate. Maybe you need to look that word up. You and Fredro, and I don't know what kind of stuff Shine said, but Mace and Cam and Mace, I don't know. I didn't hear exactly what they were saying, but maybe I need to look up the word couth and maturation process, because there's a whole lot of past 50-some-year-old black dudes, or men, period, but I'm talking these were black dudes that talk like this. You know, this is stupid. This is stupid. So having said that, you know, do better, Wanye. Do better, Free Joe Star. That shit is weird. It was so necessary. That's the statement I was looking for. It was so unnecessary. There was such an unnecessary response to give. She has that woman, that she's a 45-year-old woman with a grown daughter and people and friends and stuff. You know, you ain't have to do that, man. But anyway, Wanye, get it together, man. Close your mouth. Just continue to perform well on tour and close your mouth. Stop talking about it. I don't know. I don't believe in like burying, though, if there's any abuse. I ain't suggesting none of that. I'm just saying, dude, just hush. Stop talking. So anyway, be cool with your man, Rico. Rico Diaz. That's all I want to say about that. I just thought it was just so inappropriate. But I'll give some advice to anybody else who is now 50-some years old. You had fun in your entertainment ones. If someone comes to you and say, hey, I heard you dated, you know, such and such back in the 90s, you know, your response should be, oh yeah, I knew she. Oh, what a wonderful person. We had so much fun. You can't imagine the fun we had together because all of us were young and it was something new. Some of us had hit records out. Some of us was in movies, and we were just all being young and having a blast. And let me tell you, and she's even a more wonderful person today. And I'm very humbled to have gotten to know her. No shit like that. You don't say, yeah, I effed it, bro. Yeah, man, she has good head. You know, you don't do that. Learn some couth, okay? Y'all be cool. Talk to y'all later. Peace.